Hello everyone, B. Kaimana here, and today, as of recording, the Nintendo Switch 2 has finally been revealed. One of my friends and I decided to get together and have a nice little discussion on our thoughts on the reveal, as well as have a little analysis of the trailer and discuss our predictions for the future of it. If there are any specific spots in the discussion you want to jump to, there should be chapters in the timeline as well as in the description. With that, let's get started.
I just wanted to know, for the purposes of this discussion, are we talking just about the console? Are we going to talk about our speculation or our predictions for the April event? Or
Yes, fairly free form about Switch 2.
okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Because I have a lot of thoughts. So
I got the trailer with me as well.
yeah, I'm going to pull it up
Yeah.
for specifically for Mario Kart stuff, I think.
Oh yes, the amount of Mario Kart frame by frame analysis.
Yeah, and I have some predictions that I'm ready to share that
Okay.
may or may not be wild. So,
I'd say
yes.
let's first start with the system on its own.
Yeah. I think starting with just like a reaction and our thoughts on it.
I honestly like. It's a fairly basic trailer, like but like it works.
Okay, yeah. Are we starting right now?
Yeah, they're right now. I'm fairly like positive. Or let me see if I can share screen to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do like an intro or something, or are you just gonna go straight into
it? Nah. I was.
Yeah, just kind of going straight into it.
Sounds good.
I'll probably like cut some of this up to make it flow a little bit better, but.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah. But like. I like first thing they show immediately is the screen getting bigger. Like that's great. I am interested the fact that the automatic brightness sensor has kind of disappeared from the screen.
You're right.
And
I think it is also fair to keep in mind though that, like, you know, as this trailer goes on, the thing sort of like forms into the Switch 2.
That is true.
There might be pieces like the C button that doesn't have the C embezzled in on it on the trailer.
Yeah,
maybe that just aren't included.
That's been very noticeable.
Maybe they've gotten smaller.
I do wish the bezel got a little bit smaller.
It is large.
It is definitely not as big as it was on Switch on the original, but it's also not as small as it was on the OLED.
Right.
Like I'm guessing that'll just be a OLED Switch 2 whenever that happens.
And it still looks a little smaller than, like, the screen looks a little smaller than like a Steam Deck.
I think like because of the bigger frame, it is close to like 8 inch.
Okay.
Like it might be 7 inches, 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say it's at least 7.4, which is a Steam Deck OLED size. That's at least my observation from looking at the size difference.
You know, I don't think I've ever actually held an OLED in person, so I'm really excited. I mean, just the fact that it's bigger in the hands is just going to be a massive benefit for so many people.
Yeah, recently I got a ROG Ally X for Christmas, so it's going to be like now whenever I've swapped from that to the Switch, like the size and weight difference.
Yeah.
Is
I still imagine this is going to be lighter.
Oh yeah, no, this is going to be an extremely light system.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that they engrave everything, and the speakers look a lot bigger. Just from the little bit we get to see.
Oh, if you just think in general with this system, if you think about the amount of technological progression that has happened since 2016.
2015 since that
2015, yeah, in 10 years.
Yeah.
The things like speakers, you know, the magnetic things on the Joy-Cons, all this stuff, it's going to be so much more advanced.
I'd still say we're dealing with a possibly 2022 or 2023 2024 kind of built system. I know.
Yeah.
Like right now, I think most of the rumors are saying it's around an RTX 3050. Was that what
I know
Uh,
that was what Digital Foundry was saying a while
yeah, I
ago.
haven't taken that close a look at the spec leaks, but that would sound, that's a little bit. That's like what, right around PS4 Pro Series X S. I'm
Um,
sorry, or a little less
yeah,
than that.
around. Like I'd say closer to. Actually, no. I'd say around there. It's then just the clock speed
Right.
difference if or when it's portable or handheld.
But I also read this has more RAM.
Yes, this or at least from the rumors and the motherboard leaks we've seen, 12 gigabytes of memory, which is two more than the Series S. Which
Uh,
for,
yeah.
from all the developers that have been talking about the Series S, that's been the biggest issue they've had with porting games to Xbox because they have to release on the X and the S. And
Uh,
or go
yeah.
ahead.
I mean, that's going to have such an impact on ports,
Mm-hmm.
from other consoles. That's going to make Nintendo so much more competitive, at least in the short term, with porting games over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going to get into the games, in a bit and our
Yeah.
thoughts on what's coming, but just this hardware, Nintendo's been running on Xbox 360 hardware for a decade now,
And we've been having great looking games. Like we're going to be having Xenoblade X coming in March. That game's even with this remaster is still looking great.
Yeah, exactly. And that's on the original Switch.
Yeah.
So like we got the new USB-C port on the top, which I think that's been a great addition. A way that we can charge the system while playing in tabletop mode, but also being smart for any headphones that are have USB-C ports instead of the traditional 3.5.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Thank Nintendo for still including a headphone jack.
Yes.
There not many companies do that, with more and more companies just going over to wireless headphones.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate their dedication to wired hardware.
I'm trying to remember. Did the Switch originally I know it supports wireless headphones now, but I don't think it supported it
No,
at
it did not
launch.
originally. No,
Yeah.
there was an update that added in Bluetooth connectivity.
Right. So hopefully that, or I wouldn't say hopefully, that will likely be their day one now.
Yeah, I imagine most things that were enhanced or part of the Switch 1 will come, feature complete on the Switch 2.
There is. I'm liking the new bezels the new bezel we have, the amount of viewing,
Yes.
the new viewing angles it has.
Yeah,
Right.
and the biggest pain on that old Switch was that kickstand. You know, I had so many issues with it falling over because it's uneven.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be so much nicer for airplanes, for
Yes.
bringing it to a convention or to a tournament or something and playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a table, people are slamming down on the table. It's not going to fall over every 3 seconds.
Right. One thing I'm just noticing, the game card slot, the indent for getting the slot open is now on the back. It seems.
Oh yeah, look at that. Well, yeah, that's really interesting, and I
Huh.
guess it's because of this more curved design, which makes it easier to open that way.
Probably.
And I'm also noticing this. I don't know if you see it. I think it's what I see on the bottom there. Looks like you can see the slot for the SD card.
Yeah, there are USB-C in the middle, SD card
Yep,
right over here.
yep. So, um, that's looking good. I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a rumor that they're upgrading to a better SD card format.
Yeah, the SD Express.
Right.
It's something that SanDisk announced, I think last year, and like they specifically said it's going to be coming with a new device. We can't say what, but
So in a lot of ways, this is using cutting edge hardware.
yes, yeah, no, I think the speed for Express is like 2 to 3 times faster than standard SD cards.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
now it's the nice thing. The new Joy
Yes.
Cons. I love the size increase. Like that is great. I recently noticed the new R button is so much bigger.
Oh yeah, look at that. And it looks much more intentionally designed to fit in a human hand.
Mm-hmm.
If you compare it with the left, that blue Joy-Con, like it's just the blue Joy-Con's just perfectly straight on the sides. This has this like slight curve to it, which makes it look so much more ergonomical for holding for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm. And going back to what something you said previously, how like the C button, we know it's the C button if all the rumors are to be true, but how
Right.
that's being hidden.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll have a discussion on what we think that
Yeah,
means.
yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, let me continue. Yeah, the left gets bigger as well.
They look so good.
The buttons also look like they've gotten slightly bigger, which that's nice.
I think it's all just scaled with, and
Yeah.
the actual joysticks have gotten larger too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm guessing the red piece around the joystick is that's one thing to help with dealing with dust getting in there, and the fact that
Right,
it sounds like they're going to be Hall effect joysticks,
right.
or they're going to be that type of joystick that changes depending on or adaptive joysticks. Did you see that patent that I sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those new like all those new features on the Joy-Cons, the joystick specifically are going to. I bet you this intention is to just eliminate any possible inkling of drift.
Yeah.
And if from what I understand of Hollow Effect joysticks, they do not drift whatsoever. They have no ability to do so because there's no mechanism that can get stuck that way.
Mm-hmm. Now, question. Is
Yes,
this right here the IR sensor? Like, to me, it blends in so well.
it could be, and that's one of those things that could be a result of technological progression in terms of you don't need a completely clear, or it can be more opaque
Mm-hmm.
looking, for the IR sensor. I totally think that could be it. They could have also done away with the IR sensor because what, two games on the Switch or one used it ever?
Labo and
1-2 Switch.
1-2 Switch and the new WarioWare.
Right. And so I think it could really go either way. I was looking at that before too.
Mm-hmm.
That could just be the way it looks in this render, or it could really just be the way the Joy-Cons put together and there's nothing there.
Yeah. So I'm loving the new rail that we have. It's interesting
Yeah.
that the only parts of color are the rail and uh the outline of the joystick.
I guess it's not really a rail anymore because it
That
doesn't slide in, right? It's more
that's
of
true.
just a
The magnet, the
yeah, the magnet, yeah. And I guess we have it looks like all the same stuff. I like these SLSR buttons are looking a lot wider.
yeah, they actually look usable
Right.
without requiring the wrist strap.
The wrist strap, yeah.
And we got our possible mouse optical or sensor right here.
Yeah, I mean that's and then you sort of have I don't know if anyone else pointed this out, but on the ends of the SLSR too, these things on the end are if it's a really a mouse, these things look like, smoothed out features to allow it to drag across a flat surface easier.
Right. And
These
it
things sort of stick out above the SLSR, so the SLSR aren't dragging on your table.
right. Trying to think anything. One thing I wish we got to see a bit more the back of the Joy Cons because they're
Yeah.
kind of hiding the ZL and the what we're assuming is the magnet release mechanism.
Yeah, and that new ZL button and ZR with that stuck out piece, I'm such a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
I got so sick of the way it's set up on the current Switch. And is that analog?
That's right now one of the big debates.
Because that looks analog. I'm
At,
gonna be honest.
at least for the release mechanism, that's definitely analog.
Yeah.
The ZR being the triggers being analog is one of the questions. From the leaks that we've had, it doesn't look like it's the case.
Yeah.
Let me see. No, they changed Joy-Cons right
Ah,
before you can get a good look at it.
they don't want you to see too much.
Yeah. I
And then this blue.
I love the like whole ink like
It's like
texture.
Splatoon, yeah.
It's really just like, all right, this is the Splatoon time.
I love that they've chosen this more accented color theme instead of just making the whole thing blue and red, because one, it differentiates effectively from the Switch 1
That's true.
and makes
Yeah.
it feel like a more premium piece of hardware when you pick it up. And two, it still has that Nintendo color, colorful vibe, but you don't have to choose now between all black and all matte gray and all color.
Right.
You get something in the middle, which is so nice.
And likely, we'll be getting special editions and
Oh, you're
future
gonna get
Joy-Cons
infinite
that like
colors. Yeah,
so many different colors for this.
we're gonna have an infinite amount of colors. Yes,
And
it's
so
Nintendo.
now with the left Joy-Con, it looks like the IR sensor might be like it's either they're on both or they're on either, or they aren't on either of them.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's an upgrade too,
Yeah.
or a downgrade, depending on how it ends up being.
Oh wait, wait. Let me see if we can. Okay, there are the shoulder buttons.
Okay.
It
Yeah, the ZL doesn't look
that doesn't look
analog from
analog.
this side,
It looks
and
like
that little trigger thing under the ZL.
yeah. I'm guessing that's the magnet release.
Yeah, that's the release mechanism for the magnet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because pretty much the same spot where the release mechanism for the original Joy Cons are. Just it's much bigger and looks like we'll push in or push towards the ZL instead of towards the Joy-Con.
It does look so satisfyingly clicky, though.
Yes, absolutely. That would be dangerous, I feel.
Yes, right.
Yeah, we get the deeper look, clicking all the buttons.
Yes.
I
Every
got.
molecule,
Yep.
every single atom.
They're really showing us, hey, stick drift's not going to be a thing in this one.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
this is interesting. The new,
the new wrist straps.
not only the mouse feature functionality they're showing off, the new wrist strap is like flat.
Yeah.
It slides into here, and it doesn't. It looks like from the look of it, because of its functionality with the mouse, it doesn't add any raised buttons above the SLSR.
Not
like
really.
The original
Yeah.
one does. It looks like it just goes around it to make it slightly larger.
Pretty much, like this will pretty much protect or help the system if the mouse function is real.
Yeah, and make it feel more controllery.
Yeah, we got the release mechanism on the top of them now. The fact that they're now color coded kind of helps not getting them mixed up on what
Absolutely.
What direction for them now. And if they are also magnets, if you try to put them the other way, technically that's or you're trying to reverse the polarities,
right?
Depending on how it actually works. So it shouldn't even let you do that.
And you can just see how it looks like a mouse here.
Mm-hmm. And probably one reason they've gone for the longer bumpers is for that mouse function.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really interested what I assume like first person shooters and life sims like Civilization will make a lot of use of it.
Right. Yeah, Sims, Civilization, city building games like City Skylines. I mean, those types of games are going to benefit a lot from this. And Nintendo's not the first handheld gaming company. I believe the Lenovo does this as well now.
Yes,
one of the new Lenovos.
The original Legion Go has it as well, but they kind of they have it where it's more of like a you have you put the their controller in a little mechanism on the bottom and kind of then control it like a joystick or
I see.
Yeah, like you pretty much have it faced up and move that around instead of the face down.
Yes. So and then two we have all these third parties that are definitely going to benefit from this mouse, right? You have like you said, life sims and RTS games specifically,
Call of
those
Duty. Microsoft's made the agreement. Call of Duty is going to come to the Switch.
right, stuff like that, and like anything that works better on a computer will now have some leverage on a Switch too. And then two first party applications. One, Mario Maker is going to benefit so much from this.
Absolutely.
Mario Maker on the Switch 2, the biggest complaint people had with Mario Maker 2 was that it was too hard to build. It was very cumbersome to build on the Switch. And you had to either do it fully handheld and get like a special stylus or use your finger, or you had to slog through on the table on the TV mode. With this is going to make it like a mouse and pointer just making Mario levels. And then two, I mean, we all know it, Mario Paint. Mario Paint
Oh, that'd be
2,
so good.
Re-releasing Mario Paint on NSO, or the Mario Paint lost the disk drive one from the N64 that was lost. All these games are going to come back, or Flipnote.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
The Splatoon artists will love this.
Absolutely. Nintendo has always been massive on creating art, and it's always been a big side piece to their gaming. They've had these Art Academy games, Flipnote, Swapnote, the Miiverse, stuff within Splatoon, Mario Paint. They have a long history of allowing people to create art in their video games, and that's one thing that I bet you was a primary driving force for this mouse, is that they want people to be able to create art in some way, in some form, on some game and some application on the Switch too.
Agreed. For me, when I saw this, the one game I hope will happen is a little game on the 3DS that having a cursor would be so helpful. Kid Icarus Uprising. I just want it. Yes. I just want it. It has been on my bingo sheet for so many years.
And we've had those quasi rumors recently.
Yes.
The Ubisoft rumors from that guy's LinkedIn page, right?
We did also have Bandai Namco working on a 3D action game.
Yes, it was Namco, yeah.
But then it was announced that project was canceled.
Yeah.
Which, if that's Uprising, I am going to be so like, I'm just like, please try to salvage it, get another team to work on it.
I mean, if it's real, this was probably the reason they waited till Switch 2. They knew this was coming, and they wanted to take even something, not even Kid Icarus Uprising. If we get a new Star Fox, could use this.
That'd be great. I can't wait to see a Metroid Prime with this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. The Metroid Prime series could benefit from, and I could totally see this being a key selling feature of why you should get Metroid Prime for Switch 2 and not Switch 1.
Besides a possible graphics bump.
Yeah. See, we just came up in this 3 minutes. We just came up with 10 to 20 applications for this mouse. The amount of things we're not even thinking of that are going to be enabled with this, it's going to be incredible. I really think this is one of the most game-changing things about the new hardware.
This is something now in cross-platform first-person shooters. Only one I can think on my head is Fortnite at the moment. When you see a Switch player showing up now, you have to realize, oh wait, are they playing with a mouse?
Yeah. You know what? Okay, you know what the very first thing I thought of with this was imagine you put the Switch's tablet down. You pull up, you don't pull out the kickstand. You put it face down on the table. You give one to the other person, and the next sequel of 52 Clubhouse Games, they have air hockey.
Yes.
That's totally what's going to be on this.
That would actually be so good.
Yeah. Nintendo's going to go so creative with it.
I really hope third parties will make use of this as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, any game that it works better right now on a PC with a mouse, like an RTS, like a Civilization or a City Builder, they're going to have a really compelling case for a Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see the amount of third parties that are going to take advantage of this.
Absolutely. And that, like, the magnets, this is the one thing I'm worried about.
I
I
was about
could
to say,
I could see this being a broken piece fairly easily. Like, if it's something that can somehow retract into the system, that would help
hmm,
out.
yeah, it does look so snappable.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. It could be a red ring of death experience for Nintendo, which
Right.
that would be great.
You know, my one piece of like hope with that is just, you know, I believe Nintendo has thought about the disaster that was the drifting issues,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure they've thought long and hard in these years about mitigating any possible, reason to have to issue mass warranties or mass buybacks or anything for the Switch 2.
Right.
So it makes me feel somewhat confident that Nintendo put this out, at least confident enough that this wouldn't be a major issue.
Right.
It's the only solace I have, but you're right. In this
It,
little look, it does look very fragile,
yeah.
I will say.
It really will just have to be a wait and see,
Mhm.
uh, and watch what happens.
Right.
Oh, and the new sound, we have evolved from the single hand snap to the two handed clap.
Yeah, I like it. I like they kept something very punchy though.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm just like, I know we're not gonna have a pres we're gonna have a Nintendo Direct instead of a press conference like we had with the Switch One, but like I'm gonna be interested to see, like, will they continue to do the snap, or are they gonna do a clap to match the sound better?
Yeah. And how do you feel about the logo?
I mean, it works.
Yeah.
It very, like, I'm personally happy they went with the Nintendo Switch 2. They didn't call it Super Switch. They didn't call it New Nintendo Switch. They didn't call it the Switch U.
Yeah.
Like, it is
Yeah.
it is very clear.
hmm
The second
I
Switch.
think I think it's very indicative so far of all the leaks and everything we've seen in this video of the way Nintendo is trying to take this generation. Nintendo has this curse. They've had this curse where they are really bad at following up.
Mm-hmm.
Wii to Wii U, N64 to GameCube. They have had this curse for
NES
a
to
long
Super
time.
Nintendo.
Yeah, yeah, and or even like uh, DS to 3DS. 3DS still did well, but it did nowhere near the DS.
Yep.
They've had this curse of the second iteration never does the heights of the first, or the second iteration is a straight up flop, like the Wii U. And
It feels like right now they've learned the Wii U mistake. They're not,
yes,
they're being very clear in the marketing.
and the indication so far is they are playing this as safe as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is just trying to market that this is new. This is uh just a straight up, this is a PS1 to PS2 scenario is what they're aiming for. You know, they're trying to aim for the most straightforward upgrade that you could possibly advertise.
Right. Yeah, then we just get this little funky beat with the music.
Man, what happened to Sabrina Carpenter? I thought she was gonna be here. What?
Sabrina and who was the other person that they were saying it
Pharrell.
was? Yeah.
Pharrell. Yeah, maybe they'll be in April.
I
I
do
don't know.
I do wonder if we will get a Super Bowl trailer. Maybe that's the trailer they're working on.
I could totally see that, and that is if the release timing of this may be a good indication that that's a likelihood.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yeah, that's a great idea. I could really see that. So here it is. All right.
All right. 24-player Mario Kart.
24-player Mario Kart. 24-player Mario Kart. So I have a lot of thoughts about this, and the biggest one I want to say is I think Nintendo is using this game as a showcase marquee opportunity for the Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
And my theory on this is that Nintendo has put a lot of work and a lot of effort to make this system truly more than any other Nintendo system, truly an online system. A system that can connect online with no latency, with no, frame by frame, 2 frame per second gameplay anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No more of this convoluted Nintendo way of doing online.
Show us why we're paying for online now.
And I think this game, using 24 players, using this insane render distance on this map so far, this is going to be the showcase opportunity for them to show why you need to upgrade. And the primary reason is going to be this online.
Right. One thing that, like, for some people I've seen, like, some people say, like, it doesn't look that much better compared to Mario Kart 8. It really is in some of the smaller details I've been looking at. Like, the models for the cars have so many more polygons on them now. Like, in Mario Kart 8, you can definitely see some of the jagged edges on some of them. Like, the Mario Kart 64 card is one of the big examples. Like, you can see the flat edges on that model. I can barely tell on here.
And then in the background here, is that a section of track that runs around that mesa over there?
Or in the background,
on the back right here, you have this like swirling thing that's supported by columns. Is that track?
I don't think that's track. I think that's just
okay.
Let me. Do they have earlier in the trailer showing that? Yeah, no, that just looks like it's just background. Possibly we have those two turn right signs right there. We might still be like in Mario Kart Tour where the tracks change each level.
Yeah, that's totally possible. I mean, look at this. Yeah, I mean, clearly after this road section, you divert onto this sand, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But it could totally be one of those things where when you hit lap 2, it changes again.
And jumping ahead a little bit, I think there is a certainty that tracks will be changing throughout, because there is something we see in this trailer, right near the end. Where is it? What's that little glowing thing right there in the gas station? Is that a wonder fruit I see?
Oh yeah, can you like frame it to see if it bounces a little or anything?
No, I can't really.
No,
unfortunately, no.
I could totally see that, and also, people are talking about the graphics specifically. They're saying the graphics. Look at this. Look at the render distance.
That distance is, and the fact that it seems like you can't see where the track ends at the moment.
These tracks, they're gonna make massive tracks. It looks like for this game, and they're gonna use these as an opportunity to show the power of this system. Be like, you can have people on either side of this massive track, and it runs perfectly fine or something.
And I mean, the fact that there's 24 characters, like the tracks need to be wide enough for everyone to be there.
Yeah. And looking at that, that does look like a wonder fruit. That could really be the gimmick of this game, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, like even the effect around it.
Yeah, look at that.
Looks a little bit like a wonder. Oh yeah, no. If like the right over here, you can even you can barely make out the eyes of it.
I didn't even notice that before. That's crazy. Yeah.
So like,
while the track right now might not look graphically, imagine once you get that wonder fruit, things just go crazy.
So I'm really wondering then, pun intended.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering, uh, is Nintendo using Mario Wonder as the like art style or stylistic basis for Mario going forward?
That
Because this game looks so Mario Wonder, like all these characters look so chibi,
mm-hmm.
so cute.
And we even see right as the Switch is coming into the dock, the amount of squash and stretch both Mario and the cart have.
Uh, yeah, that's the amount of animation put into this is so lively,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing a really good job of capturing this like uh almost like Pixar-y, like squashy, stretchy animation kind of thing going forward. Yeah, like that level of animation, you definitely did not have that in Mario Kart 8.
No, in Mario Kart 8, it was very much more just a hop.
Yeah,
not much follow through in the animation.
yeah, yeah. Wow.
Like you even see Luigi doing a little jump. Like the fact that the car squashes with it as well. Like
Yeah, look at that.
it visually looks so appealing.
They're really going, and Nintendo has always been the king of this, regardless of power. They're so good at style.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good at art style and making stylistic choices that really enhance it despite any graphical challenges they have.
Right.
And having that aspect of Nintendo married with actual power on a console is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't see how people can't see so far how stylistic this is and how graphically impressive it is so far.
May I ask your thoughts on our favorite monkey over here?
Okay.
I
DK.
personally, I do like the new style. I do hope we still get projects with Rare's Donkey Kong design, like we've seen with Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yeah.
I think when Donkey Kong is with Mario, we can get this more Mario movie original arcade Donkey Kong style design. But I'd still like to keep that uh, Donkey Kong Country Returns style, at least
I
in
think
some
the
way.
I think that, you know, I'm sure you've been following all the rumors and everything about this Donkey Kong game
That
that is supposedly happening.
that'll be the real decider on where they're
Yeah,
going.
if he's this way in that game, then this is Donkey Kong going forward.
Yeah.
If this could also again just be a uh you know larger style decision that's been made around Mario Wonder. Um uh we really can't tell at this point. I think it's just too early to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't hate it. I think it's very classic feeling. And it certainly is uh they've really loved recently playing with uh their big villain designs. I don't know if you've noticed this. They did the same thing with King Dedede and Kirby. They played with his design a lot in recent games.
With the Forgotten Land, and then Return
Yeah.
to Dreamland adopting a
Um
similar design.
and so Nintendo has a penchant for taking big hulky characters like this and liking to play with their designs. Um and I really don't hate it. I think it's good. I think, things like this, you don't want them to stay the same forever. So I embrace changes, but I also agree, like, I would love to see if this is the permanent way it's gonna look going forward, or if it's just a Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart 10 thing or whatever it's called.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um
that is one question. Is Tour 9 this 10 or this 9?
yeah.
It's
Or is it like a technology, like all those tech company things where they skip to 9 and go straight to 10?
right.
Or just X, Mario Kart X or something.
Yep.
Um
What
this Yes.
one recent theory I've seen, I think I first heard it from uh getting Mads, if
Mhm.
you know him. But So Peach is currently driving a motorcycle or a bike of some kind, but she is wearing her dress.
Yeah, she is. She's
She,
not wearing her biker outfit.
so one theory that Getting Mad's recently theorized: what if there are alternate costumes? Tor got very big into alternate costumes for all the characters.
Yeah, and that could be one of those things again to show off graphical prowess.
Mm-hmm.
Have multiple costumes with insane levels of detail on them.
We could get this more movie DK, and we could still have classic DK. Everyone's happy then.
Yeah, yeah.
We could
I think that
bring over all the costumes that were in Mario Kart Tour, create a bunch of new ones. Elephant Mario.
I really think that could be, and that could be a reason, a differentiating factor for 8 in terms of like that could be another selling point to get people to like another reason you should buy this, over 8 is these costumes or this customization.
Right now, I think from all the analysis, we know 23 of the 24 racers in this. At least from this the first shot, we can see Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Yoshi, Peach, Toad, Daisy, Rosalina, DK, Wario, Koopa Troopa looks like, and then Pauline right here at the bottom.
Yeah, look at that. And and that raises the question too. What I want to see too is, the most clear difference so far is Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get a close look at all these characters. I want to see exactly how they look.
I'm loving all the different carts we have. Like we have Rosalina in pretty much a bobsled. Toad's vehicle is very reminiscent of old Mario artwork. What is Daisy riding? It looks like it has turbines behind it.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
And then like she has like a snowmobile.
Yeah.
Rosalina. And I mean Toad has like his classic. He looks like he has the car from the movie almost.
Yeah.
Toad.
Without the big wheels.
Yeah, without its big wheels.
Yoshi looks like he's riding the Yoshi bike from Mario Kart 8.
He does, yeah.
But what are the other characters we then see?
And these cars certainly have this more like chibi look to them.
Everyone kind of has just a little squashed look. But next we see in the background Baby Mario, Waluigi, Baby Luigi, King Boo, Birdo, it's hard to see anyone else. I think someone said or Toadette's here, possibly Bowser Jr.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And looks like baby Daisy in this little green car in the corner.
So all the classics so far.
Yeah, like so far it doesn't look like anyone like Pauline I'd say is the only like new character since she was just DLC from the last game. She's not one of the standards.
And I bet you so far, they've chosen the most straightforward looking map. They've chosen the most straightforward Mario Kart characters.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to be very vague with this. They're telling you there's a new Mario Kart in the same way they're telling you there's a new Switch. They don't want to tell you any information about it yet, though. They don't want to tell you who the new characters are.
I mean, very likely, this card is called Mario Bros. Circuit. This is probably the starting circuit of the game.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely like the very very basic, first track on the first cup.
Yeah,
of the game.
I gotta say though, it's no Toad's Circuit.
No, it certainly isn't.
Greatest Mario track ever.
And you know what? So far, compared to the other basic like Mario circuits, Luigi circuits, this one's got a crazy vibe. It's got this like vibe. Like
Most of
every
them,
other one has been like the basic Mushroom Kingdom.
most of them have been like just stadiums of some kind. Like Mario Kart Stadium and Wii definitely brought it to a bigger level. But like Luigi Circuit was a big stadium. Um, Toad Circuit had a bit some stands across the area. But this is just Radiator Spring.
Yeah, right. It's literally like Cars. Looks like the movie Cars.
Heck, we're driving we're
footage.
driving in traffic right here.
And did you see the little shine sprite in the background?
Uh,
Go back a little bit.
yeah. Let me see. Oh, the text shine sprite. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that they're still going with the shine sprites. You know, it's they're keeping Mario Sunshine alive. You know, I appreciate that. It's been how many decades, and they're still rocking with the shine sprites. I appreciate that from Nintendo. Underrated Mario game.
I still can't wait to.
I'll say it right now.
I still can't wait to go to Diner.
Diner.
No name. It's literally a Ben 10 location background.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember like that place. It had a place just called Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier the draw distance. It's oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Like, you can see all the way on the right there, sections of track out there. You can see if the track does go straight, you can see all the way down towards this mesa in the back.
It's looking like we're gonna go to this. Like looking at it again, it is literally just the Radiator Spring.
Yeah, and also looking at this, look,
mountain.
Also giving this a look, it looks like past this gas station or a drive-through or whatever it is. The track, there's like this sand thing that goes through the middle of the track here.
Yeah.
I wonder if it will be one of those things where, because it's so open, some players can go straight, some other players can go right, and they'll reconvene at some later point on the map.
It's possible.
The map will just be so large like that, you know?
I've seen some rumors of the possibility maybe we could be getting a Diddy Kong Racing Forza Horizon kind of open world where the tracks are taking place.
Yeah. I mean,
for that would be crazy for like getting a lot of single player content in a Mario Kart game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the possibilities here are just so wide, and that's what I love about Nintendo teasers is they keep these. They know that these questions are going to be asked once they show this little 30 seconds of footage. They know that what they put in there. You know, they know exactly what they have.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and they know people are going to pick this stuff apart. So they leave little hints and little clues to open up people's possibilities of what this could possibly have.
So we very much haven't talked about it. Like it's here on the screen right now. The new dock. I'm wondering why there's that little piece of the screen at the top.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess looking at my current Switch, there is also a very small sliver of it.
Yeah, but this is very much more significant.
Mm-hmm. So I've seen some people saying like there might be a standby mode where it kind of then becomes a Nintendo Alarmo.
I was about to say I'm looking to the left at my Nintendo Alarmo, and I bought one the other week. I really think that could be an indicator of something they're trying to do with this, you know?
A way to show like notifications when it's in sleep mode saying like, hey, your game's finished downloading or your friend's currently online and have sent you a request.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those types of things are really big, especially again, if they're going to try to position this system to be a more online focused system like my theory is. I think that's more evidence towards that, where they want you to be able to see at a glance if you got any messages or if your friends are online or if they're in the group chat or something, you know?
Speaking with going more online with friends,
Yes.
let's discuss that C button.
Yes. Yes. This is what I was hoping we'd get into.
So, I think the most recent rumor that's come out is the C stands for campus. I think that's what
I
I've heard.
saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or that's at least a code name,
Yeah.
you know?
Like
It's
it's still like C for chat, community.
yeah. And I really think, again, this lining up with my theory of this console, one of the big drivers of this console is going to be online functionality. I think that is probably what it's going to end up being.
Mhm.
It's just a quick select menu for your friends to join, voice chats and join. It's going to be a very Nintendo solution to online
Right.
in terms of it's going to be like Xbox Live, it's going to feel like that, which will be very nice, but man, leave it to Nintendo to be one step behind and not have Discord
Right. Like
integration.
that will be one thing to see. I doubt it will have it.
Oh, they will never do it. I mean,
Yeah.
Nintendo is just way, way too scared of having any third-party communications or messaging software on their system.
Mm-hmm.
Even after the disasters that were Swapnote and Miiverse
PictoChat.
and PictoChat, PictoChat to a lesser extent, but specifically the issues they had around Swapnote and the virality around Miiverse that happened for a while. Those infamous posts that people saw on Miiverse and stuff.
Hey, what's wrong with the guy that likes drinking water?
Or like no one knows how to crawl in
Yeah.
Super Metroid. Like after a couple years of those, I think Nintendo is very weary about even letting a third party handle, and that's not even what I'm talking about. They're okay with cringe. I think they're scared of potentially, vulgar or even illegal things happening, and they're terrified of that kind of stuff, Nintendo. So they're never going to trust any third party company to run online communications for them.
It's something that always hurts their image, and like whenever it happens, like
exactly,
there are going to be
family-friendly
consequences.
Company. Yeah, they're the kid-focused company, and so they have a reason that they never will.
I think multiple top Smash players having some issues with them is one reason. The tournament scene is just awful.
Yes, but all this stuff combined. I mean, like
there are many other reasons, but that's definitely one of them.
I think for good reason, Nintendo has extreme apprehension of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But on the same token, it does hinder this ability's usefulness because most people these days are communicating via Discord.
Correct.
Frankly, most people are splitting their time with their friends who are on their PCs or are playing their PS5s, and so you're not always going to be playing with people who are 100% Switch users.
Right.
And I seriously doubt this will bring any functionality to like, you're not going to have in-game voice chat in Mario Kart. I doubt that's coming.
I think that's personally, I think voice chat's possible. I don't think
you think so with strangers.
No, I think specifically with friends, like people.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Is that you're not joining a worldwide Mario Kart lobby and being able to just turn on the mic and start speaking to people. So this will be limited to just your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, the functionality of this will be very, very situational.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a Smash Bros group or something, maybe there will be features on this like spectator mode or game, cloud. Maybe you can control your friend's game via the cloud, or maybe you can,
I
again, stream
I
to
remember
your friends seamlessly on this.
with the campus rumor, they did mention screen sharing of some kinds.
Yeah. And so for certain situations like Smash players, or maybe everyone's playing Mario Kart, or maybe everyone's playing Animal Crossing, this will have some level of functionality. But when you're just chilling and playing Mario, the next 3D Mario, or you're playing the next Pokemon game, and you want to talk to your friends, and half of them are playing, some game on Steam, you're gonna still have to boot up Discord and
Yeah.
join there. And so this is going to be very situational. Again, though, to me, this will just be another boost to their online focus. This is going to be Nintendo's first truly online console,
Mhm.
where it will be online, will not be treated as an afterthought. The Switch came very close. It came very, very close to having truly online. But still, with the OG Switch, the online is very piecemeal.
Mhm.
And this is going to be a more unified system.
Thankfully, even if it's just with players, this is still leagues better than having to do voice chat through a mobile app, or
Yeah, absolutely.
through a Nintendo only mobile app. Most people are already
Yeah.
used to doing it through Discord, but
And I think that mobile app was it was one of those things where Nintendo, there were compromises made with the Switch 1,
mhm.
to get the price down and to get it uh to a level of functionality and get it out the door. And I think online was compromised in the OG Switch, and the app was like their supplement. And they knew, they had to have known it wasn't very good,
Yeah,
you know?
there were some nice things with it. Like I very much enjoyed being able to go on there to see what Splatoon maps were currently in rotation. That was very
Right.
helpful.
And so having all that stuff on your console is going to be incredible.
Hmm.
Being able to look at that exact stuff, or probably for this, see what maybe, like, what are the most trending maps on Mario Kart Online? You
Right.
know, like what are the current rankings in the new Smash? Current leaderboard rankings or something. Um, Stuff like that. All that stuff unified on this Switch is going to be amazing.
Agreed. Oh, well, I can't believe it. 2025.
Yeah, I mean, it's real.
When I saw the Nintendo Direct date, like just my mind, like I'm constantly seeing stuff from other countries where they swap the month and the date. So like for me, my mind was really trying
Right.
to figure out, okay, is that let me get to the
Oh, the Direct.
yeah, the direct. Like my mind was just like, okay, is that April 2nd or is it February 4th?
Yeah, yeah. So real quick, before we get to the Direct, can you go back to the backwards compatibility
Yes,
screen?
yeah, absolutely.
So are you at all worried about what this says, or do you think this just means Labo Ring Fit?
I think it really is just Labo. Technically, I don't think Labo is supported on the OLED as well, so they've had to have a
Right.
similar uh disclaimer on it as well.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so it really is just Labo and possibly IR sensor games if what we saw on the bottom is or is not an IR sensor.
Right. Yeah, I feel the same way. I
Mm-hmm.
think that 99% of the games that you want to play will be playable. And so I'm not at all worried about it either.
Right. Yeah, I'm really trying to think any games I have that I'm worried. Like, not nothing I've ever played on my Switch requires the IR
Right.
sensor.
Yeah. I mean, WarioWare is the only thing that comes remotely close to me, and I haven't even picked it up yet.
Uh-huh.
So
But Nintendo Direct February 2nd, 2025.
Yeah.
My brain likes my brain so April 2nd, 2025.
Yeah, I looked at it the exact same way because I watched the UK
Oh yeah,
release first,
that's yeah,
and I
that
put my hands up in the air and then put them right back down.
yeah, like when I saw that I was just like, okay, I just need to like wait a few minutes to see what people are saying to figure out exactly what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. So, how are you feeling about April, and what do you think this means for the launch
So
date?
if it was February, I think it would have been possible release April, May, with the direct being in April. Personally, I'm thinking back to one of my original thoughts of closer to June, possibly July at the latest.
Yeah, yeah. I feel the same way. Um, a really big point towards that is that these upcoming live Switch 2 experiences. The final one announced is Seoul, South Korea on June 1st.
Okay.
So that points a lot towards June or possibly July.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Um,
That makes. I'd say that's a fairly good reasoning.
yes. And if you recall, too, this is actually quite in line with Switch 1
Right.
because Switch 1 was teased 3 months before the January presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave it 3 months afterwards until they finally showed off more information.
Right.
So this is the same. It's 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's less than 3 months.
Or July would be 3 months for release. June, like 2.5 or.
Oh yeah, I mean 3 months from this announcement
Oh.
to this
Yes.
direct.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then the original Switch, they did 3 months between the announcement of the Switch and the January presentation.
Correct. Yes.
This I get why people are upset about this long wait time, but they're just replicating exactly what they did with Switch 1,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
We just want our information now. We're like,
oh yeah, we've waited so long.
We've had this system for almost 8 years now.
So this is very interesting to me, and I have a wild theory, and I think I am very confident in this. I will say I'm quite confident in this theory I've had, and this is formulated in my head today. Love it or hate it. What this tells me, I think, really, really, truly think, we are getting one final Switch 1 Direct in February.
I'd say that's I'd say that's fairly possible.
If we go off I trust Nate to hate with my life now.
Mm-hmm.
He can fly a plane for me, and I trust him at this point. And what he said, we got Kirby Triple Deluxe coming,
Right?
Metroid Prime 2 remastered coming,
Pokemon
obviously
ZA.
Pokemon ZA, obviously Metroid Prime 4. He's Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War.
Mm-hmm.
There's enough there that you could put together a final Switch 1 presentation. And the timing of this is so convenient that if you have a February Direct, no one can possibly complain about the Switch 2 because they all know when it's coming.
Right.
And to me, this seems so perfectly set up to give these final Switch 1 games enough runway to be announced, have some hype, have some release, hold people over, and not completely abandon Switch 1 users before those games are completely and utterly overshadowed by Switch 2.
Right. And let's remember the 3DS was still supported for a year and a half so after the Switch came out. But at least in this situation, if a game releases for the Switch, we can still play it on the Switch too. It's not like Samus Returns coming to the 3DS.
Oh, I totally see. If they have a February Direct, it's going to open with some blurb that will say every game shown will be playable on Switch 2 via backwards compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. Just to remind people, hey, you can still buy these games, and when we release the new console in June, you'll be able to still play them.
You'll be able to still play them, and possibly they'll look better.
Exactly.
That's one question. Improvements on previous
Yes.
games. Will we have to pay for it? Like with PlayStation 5, like some games are a $10 upcharge. Some games are just free upgrade improvements. Some games you just have to buy a whole new version.
Yeah.
I really hope none of them are the last one.
Yes, me too.
Personally, with the upgrades, I feel that if you have to pay for it, that is something having the expansion pass, they could easily give a huge boost to it.
Yes, yes. I think it's really hard to predict because we're talking about Nintendo.
Right.
You know, you got those WNDs, those weird Nintendo decisions that come out of nowhere. You know, so knowing Nintendo, I wouldn't rule out any three of those things, but I think it will depend on the nature of those upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like you bring over Breath of the Wild from your Switch and for $10 one-time fee or for free with your expansion pass membership, you can download an update that upgrades the game to DLSS and 60 frames per second or something,
Right.
4K DLSS. I could totally see that. But if it's like, oh, we completely re-upgraded this game and redid the graphics to make it as beautiful as possible for Switch 2, maybe for select games like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, they re-release them with brand new enhanced graphics. But it really could go either way.
Mm-hmm. And there are some games that I'm pretty certain will automatically get improvements, especially games that run adaptive resolutions. I know a lot of the Xenoblade games use that. Like Xenoblade 2 went down to 240p in handheld mode sometimes.
Right.
So the fact that you'll just be running it on a faster system, that should automatically just help games like that run better.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this first thing is the these upgrades and not remasters, but upgrades to existing Switch games, which I think we both think will happen in some form.
Yes.
And then 2, we have Mario Kart 9. Okay, so 3, the next thing I want to ask you about before we get to the next games themselves, the 2 things I want to ask you about first are, firstly, NSO. Is there going to be any upgrade to NSO as a result of Switch 2?
They have said that at least our Nintendo accounts will easily transfer to the next system. Yeah. I think our current NSO features will still be the same. I don't think anything will be added to the basic, possibly something to the expansion pass. Like I said, getting free upgrades if that's a possibility, if that's where they go with it. One thing I meant to mention earlier, a while ago. So with the mice, what's the possibility of DS games coming to the expansion to NSO now? Because
I don't know.
Because you could easily use one of those as a mouse for the touchscreen, and then the second Joy-Con pretty much has every single other button you would require for the DS. Like if I'm just thinking using the right Joy-Con as the mouse, the left Joy-Con still has, you could use the analog stick as the D-pad, the D-pad as the A, B, X, Y buttons, ZL, ZR as L and R. The only thing you would you can use SL and SR as plus and minus.
Yeah, I mean, it could work. The only thing is the display,
right? We have thankfully just recently, we had the Castlevania Dominus collection. Those are all DS games. Like we've seen DS games officially work on the Switch.
We have, yes, we have.
It would just need, they can have different display options for us to work with, just like they have different display options for Game Boy with the normal the different or colored version and non-colored.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, totally, totally could see that happening. If I'm being honest, if I had to place my bets in one console that would get released for an NSO, my gut feeling is GameCube.
Mm-hmm. That makes the
Just
most sense.
just they'll be so old now.
Mm-hmm.
How many generations ago will that'll be 5 generations ago at this point? The GameCube?
Yeah.
Because you had the Wii,
Wow.
Wii U, Switch 2, GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. I mean, every game that needed it, they went through and they made sure they got their money
Mm-hmm.
with their remasters and remakes of every possible GameCube game on the Switch One. Thousand Year Door, Pikmin 1 and 2, Metroid Prime. They went through the gauntlet of every game that could have possibly have gotten them some significant amount of money as a standalone title, and they re-released them or remastered them or remade them in some way. So it's time. I think it's time.
I would really enjoy that.
Oh yes, and all the biggest benefit wouldn't even be those games. It would be all the little minutia GameCube games that have been lost to time.
Custom Robo.
Yeah, Doshin the Giant, dude. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Chibi Robo.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all this stuff that Beautiful Joe, all this stuff that
Hey, I mean, with Kamiya back at Capcom, Beautiful Joe has a chance to be alive again.
That's what I mean. I mean, this is the time for this stuff. So, I could really see it.
I do wonder with GameCube, would they make a new version of the will they make another tier of NSO?
Yeah, I mean, they could make a third tier of NSO that is GameCube plus the Switch One game upgrades.
Yeah, I would think GameCube, DS, and I'm trying to think of we have Genesis on the expansion pass,
Dreamcast,
Saturn, maybe another third party like a TurboGrafx.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see it just being those two, but if there's a new tier, I think that either way, the Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, 60 frame per second updates are locked behind that new tier.
Yeah, I'd say that's possible.
And then it's going to be something not ridiculous, but for Nintendo, it's going to be like $80 to $100 a year or something.
Well, currently normal is $20, expansion is $50, 30 or 36 and 80 for the family plans respectively.
Yeah, and then I could totally see this third tier being 80 individual, 50 family plan or something.
What?
I'm sorry. Like you were saying the family plan, you can split it up and make it slightly cheaper,
Right. Make the family plan $50 per person, or
something like that.
That because that would make it sorry, I'm just trying to
No, you're fine.
That'd be
how many people are on the family plan?
You can do up to 8, so that'd be $450. Now wait,
yeah. Something like that.
That's crazy. That's too crazy high. I think I think family plan would go to 100.
Yeah,
120 at the highest.
Yeah,
because that would make it 10, 15. Depending on how you wanted to split it.
Yeah, I didn't think about the math that hard.
Yeah,
you're definitely right. But I think it's going to be, whatever it is, it's going to look crazy for a Nintendo product.
Probably for single user, it would be 60, 70 at the most.
Yeah.
Which exactly. then it's still like, okay, for the price of a Switch game, you get online for a year, which that's kind of the price for all the other online systems.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Definitely.
It would be like the if you get GameCube game added with that, plus being able to upgrade stuff. I feel that would give plenty of people, like, if you have if you just have 6 games that cost $10 each to upgrade, getting that expansion pass is then worth it for the year. If you have more than that, then it's worth it for a while, and then if you do a family plan, it's even cheaper.
You're right. So I think we're pretty much in agreement on what the NSO, NSO is going to have some level of an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
So the next third party, what level of third party support do you think this is going to have out of the gate first year?
I think it is going to have incredible third party support out of the gate. Companies now know what the Switch what the Switch market is like. I think that at least first year, companies will once again immediately start to go for it. It's then afterwards, if it starts not being as profitable as they thought it would be, it might start slowing down.
Yeah, for sure.
I do wish we got to see like one third party game in this announcement. So something that's like something that would have been a very difficult port. Like either the rumored Final Fantasy VII remake being on there, or I think the big one would have been Cyberpunk. Because that's a game that was even hard for the PS4 and Xbox One series to run. If they showed that playing on the Switch, which is rumored to be a PS4 level, like that would have been a huge showcase.
My personal thought on that was I thought they were going to have shown off Elden Ring.
That would have also been a good one to show off.
Because if you looked at, how last year they did a presentation to their investors?
Yeah, they had all the developers. FromSoft was on there.
Yeah, one of the major ones was FromSoft on that list. So I think that's a good indication that Elden Ring is coming.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's the possibility Night Rain will be a day one launch on the Switch too.
Oh, it would be some sort of like Elden Ring Definitive Edition, and then the new Night Rain would launch, which would tie in again nicely to their online,
exactly,
their online thing. I also think that Microsoft is going to have a very large presence on this console.
Correct. We already know for certain that Microsoft has made agreements that they have to put Call of Duty on the Switch for, I think, 10 years. It was the contract that they signed.
Yeah. So you're going to see that. I mean, I think, Microsoft's going for this, like...
There's a possibility... like, everything is an Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is an Xbox ecosystem thing. Like, you're going to see... I bet you Master Chief Collection is going to come.
I'd say that's likely. There's been plenty of rumors on that, and I'd say that's likely. Do you think Game Pass will be available on it? Personally, for that, I think Nintendo won't allow that.
One, Microsoft is going to make way too much money selling their games piecemeal on the Switch.
Also true, yes.
2, again, Nintendo, if they're marketing this as their own standalone, their new online experience, they're not going to want to cut into that with a Microsoft online product.
Right.
So no, I absolutely don't think so. So I think third party is going to be pretty big.
Recently, we just had I feel it's very likely we'll even get a Final Fantasy Rebirth coming to the Switch too, because that's just been approved to come to the Steam Steam Deck compatible.
I think Final Fantasy Rebirth is very likely.
But will Part 3 come to the Switch?
I think it's all going to come down to how that game was made. If that game was made using the technology of the first 2 remakes, then maybe.
Yeah.
If it's using the models and engine they based the first 2 off of, maybe. But if it's going for really high end, like this is the most cutting edge Final Fantasy we've ever made graphics, then maybe not.
Yeah.
It'll depend, but absolutely, I could see 1 and possibly 2 coming.
God, I can't wait for I can't wait for next week when that finally comes out. I've stayed away from spoilers.
I'm sure you've seen the report from regarding Switch 2 that in the next 2 months before the April Direct, there's going to be a flood of third-party announcements because now they can finally actually make them.
Correct. Yeah. Or I remember ukulele replay was like one of the, or it was the Sonic Forces of the NX where they had the NX logo on it, while ukuleles had the Nintendo logo with eyes next to it.
Yeah, so you're going to see a bunch of companies finally saying, "Oh, we can actually talk about our Switch 2 games," you know. So that's going to be great.
Bring Hi-Fi Rush to the Switch.
And I think that's another reason to get the space out this direct from the main announcement of the Switch 2 is give these third parties some time to announce their own games before their games are completely overshadowed by first party.
Absolutely.
You know? Give these third parties a chance to announce that they have Switch 2 games and get some people hyped for those before we completely get overrun by Mario Kart 9 and 3D Mario. And so speaking of that, the final thing I wanted to do, or not final thing, but one of the things I wanted to do too, is I wanted to get your first year. What games are we going to see at this direct?
Okay.
And what is going to be 2025 launch year to early 26?
I feel with this trailer, Mario Kart is a launch title.
Oh yeah,
like that's a strong one. I think Metroid is also fairly likely a launch title.
Prime 4?
Yeah, Prime 4 will be the big single-player title. Mario Kart will be the big multiplayer title.
And do you think Prime 4 is going to be cross-gen?
I think so. It will be the Breath of the Wild of this game, or of the system. After that, one question is when Legend ZA will come out. Because
I think that's cross-gen.
Yeah, we'll likely see ZA, probably not at the Nintendo Direct, but definitely at Pokemon Day.
Oh yeah, the Pokemon Day Direct already leaked.
Oh, it did?
From Niantic's, Pokemon Go. Someone like data mined Pokemon Go, and the Pokemon Day like new like upgrade or whatever was titled like Pokemon Direct promotion or something.
Oh, okay.
So it's already been leaked that there's going to be a Pokemon Direct.
The fact that the idea there was going to be a Pokemon Direct, like they've been having Pokemon Day presentations for
the
years.
idea of it, but the official confirmation of it is basically already leaked.
That it's happening. That is true.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be cross-gen too.
Yeah, like I think the only way it isn't, which I mean, it also still is going to be cross-gen, is if it comes out in April.
Yeah.
Which
and then like I said before too, you're going to have this slate of remakes, remasters, Kirby Triple Deluxe, Metroid Prime 2 that are going to be either cross-gen or Switch 1 with an upgrade on the 2 or something.
Right. It's kind of crazy that it has been more than a full year since a Pokemon game.
Truly.
I am both happy that this has happened, but also I am now yearning for Pokemon.
I don't know what to expect with this if it is a Switch 1 game now, The thing is, the Pokemon Company loves to stay a generation behind for a little while.
Right.
They blew the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Black and White 2. These games could have waited and made those games, for their successor consoles, but they didn't.
But Pokemon is the brand that does not make games for a console until it reaches 10 million sales.
Exactly.
But after,
so how about for new? Yeah, for after April, what are we seeing?
Or June? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. For June onwards, when we watch this April presentation, what are we seeing game after game? Because that's what's going to be there.
We're gonna get the new Mario Team 3D platformer. The question is it 3D Donkey Kong or 3D Mario?
Right.
Because it's been a while at this point since 3D Mario. So, like, theoretically, they could, like, whatever they've been working on is going to be big.
Yes.
Like, last thing, and I think it was a smaller team, was Bowser's Fury.
Yes.
So,
and that was an experiment, they said.
Right. Personally, I hope whatever comes next takes inspiration from Bowser's Fury.
Yes.
Give me that, but with multiple playable characters, including Donkey Kong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let him finally be playable. So I'm guessing that's going to be the holiday title, like November time. Right before Black Friday. So going back for like September, October time. Or August, September, October. That's probably when we're gonna get some of the like last or Switch games announced at this February Direct. Fire Emblem, Kid Icarus Uprising remastered. It's always gonna be there. I feel like I've recently seen some rumors, and this would also be a dream project. A Project Cross Zone title. Do you know that series on 3DS?
I do, yes.
Okay.
I haven't played it, but I know it.
I finished the first one on 3DS and very much enjoyed it. But I'd be interested to see, will they still have multiple companies, or will it be more of a Smash Brothers tactical RPG?
Sure.
I know that one's going crazy a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you could throw a dream one in there. Exactly. That's fine. I'll throw a dream one in mine. So
something I really want. Recently, so with the release of the Switch, recently a developer that has made a game or has made previous games, Shein Entertainment, who made Fast Racing Neo. And we have seen Nintendo teaming up some with indie developers and third parties. We had Cadence of Hyrule as a big one. And I mean, Fast RMX had the F-Zero announcer even do some or be the announcer for that game. So I mean, all I'm saying is they're kind of the perfect developers to make an F-Zero game.
Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. There have been F-Zero teases or rumbles recently too, so I would love it. I mean,
I think that'd be a very good maybe like middle of the year, beginning of January 2026. I know I'm just about to get Xenoblade Chronicles X in March, but also like I very much want to see what Monolith Soft's working on next.
X2, 4.
I mean, do you know anything about Xenoblade lore?
I know some.
There's the possibility the next game might not be called Xenoblade.
Oh, they do change it, right? There have been other games like Xenogears, right?
Xenogears was what the developers made when they were with Square Enix. Then they made they left Square to create Monolith Soft and created Xenosaga, which was 3 games. And Xenoblade 3 kind of very much connected Xenosaga with the Blade games.
Gotcha.
So even with a actual thank you to Bandai Namco in the credits. So part of me like maybe not the next, or since we're right now just getting X, but it is also remaster. Maybe a collection of the Xenosaga games. I'd very much enjoy that.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
that would be awesome.
I'd probably throw next big original one to like late 2026, 2027.
I'm actually quite excited. I'm going to be honest. I am very interested in trying out a Xenoblade game.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm just very intimidated by the time
That
required.
that's fair. Uh, one.
But Xenoblade X has by far been the most appealing looking one to me.
Mhm.
I've heard it has shades of Breath of the Wild in there.
Yes, like Monolith Soft works on so many Nintendo games at this point. Like when they truly make something, they pull out everything that system can do.
Yeah.
Like the fact that X came out on the Wii U and still looks good, even not looking at the remaster.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Um.
Yeah, no, I think those are some great predictions, though. I really think that
It-
I think that a lot of that is probably going to happen.
Yeah, if we're getting Fire Emblem a remake on the original Switch, that probably will be later 2026, 2027 for a new one.
Yeah, yeah.
For some third parties, I think they could really Capcom could probably go crazy, get Monster Hunter Wilds on there, get pretty much what all the developers should do, change cloud versions to actual versions of the games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Oh.
Getting Resident Evil on there, getting, stuff like that. I think also we're going to get Red Dead 2. I think we got Red Dead 1 on the Switch. Nintendo and Rockstar have been collaborating a lot. I think we're going to get Red Dead 2 and possibly GTA 5. I don't think we're going to get GTA 6. I think that's too
I was about to say, speaking of Rockstar, like, what is the, like, I maybe not, I don't think a launch title, but imagine if GTA 6 is able to run on this.
My jaw would be on the floor. I don't expect that at all.
I think at the moment that is up there as one of the impossible ports. If it happens, that is crazy.
We don't even know really what GTA 6's
level
is now because it's not even out yet.
We haven't seen gameplay. We've just seen cutscenes.
Exactly. So we'll see. We'll definitely see.
But yeah, Square Enix, you don't need to give me another reason to buy Kingdom Hearts games. The second you say they aren't cloud versions, I will drop $100 again.
They're for sure coming. The Kingdom Hearts games for sure.
Throwing Kingdom Hearts 4 whenever that happens.
Yeah, and then I could see again because of Microsoft is coming in hard. I could see a slate of games from Bethesda.
Absolutely,
coming as well.
A
lot of Fallout, a lot of perhaps Starfield.
They'll probably time Fallout for whenever season 2 of the show comes out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could see all the Yakuza games coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think Kiwami's been doing all right on the Switch.
Yeah. So, I certainly think a lot of those, for sure, are likely to happen. I think that for sure Mario Kart 9, is there. And also for sure we're getting the next 3D Mario or 3D DK, whatever it is. 3D platforming game in the Mario universe. And I really think too the big rumor last year was that Nintendo intentionally delayed the Switch 2 into 2025 because they wanted to be sure that the launch year of the Switch 2 would be a banger year. That was the rumor, was that they delayed it because they needed to be more confident in the launch lineup for the launch year.
Because if we've seen anything from current devs, with the amount of time it takes to make games now, like we've had a year of PlayStation not releasing anything big.
Right, exactly. And Nintendo's been quite good about not falling into that trap.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they know what they're doing.
We had it some with the Wii U, but with the Switch, like every year they've at least released 2 to 3 fairly big games.
Yeah. Um. So with that, I think we're gonna see Splatoon 4
I'd say that. Yeah.
because that again enhances online,
Mm-hmm.
and they get to show off crazy graphics of all the ink splatting everywhere without any lag. I think we're gonna see. It may not release this year, maybe an early 2026 game, but I feel very confident that we're gonna see the next Animal Crossing.
Yeah, with that becoming one of their big sellers ever since New Horizons, that's fairly likely.
New Horizons moved that game into Mario Zelda tier of
Mhm.
Nintendo. And before that, Animal Crossing was like C tier Nintendo franchise. And they probably halted all development on New Horizons just to start development on the next one to get that game as done as and out the door as quickly as they could.
Yeah.
So I think that we'll see the next Animal Crossing because that will make people so hype. I think we'll see a Mario sports game. Again, goes back to my online theory, enhances online.
Okay.
And
Is it a sport that's already on the Switch, or is it something that hasn't come yet to the Switch, like baseball?
I want baseball so bad.
Yeah.
Slugger was so amazing. It was the best Mario sports game in my opinion.
I have been coping since the Mario Kart Los Angeles stage used renders of Mario Sluggers.
I loved Slugger. It was like amazing.
I hope they have learned like from the previous sports games with the whole online or live service esque design they've gone for. Hopefully kind of balancing that out. I still think it works. They just need to balance it better.
Yeah. So I would love that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't promise. You know, I can't be confident in anything. I think that you might see another tennis because they love to do tennis,
right?
And they love golf for some reason. Every system gets a golf and a tennis for some reason.
Yep.
So we could just see another one of those.
Give us a new Mario Hoops.
Yeah, or Hoops 3-on-3 would be crazy. That's a callback, you know. So I don't know about either of those, but I'm calling a sports game.
Okay.
But I know they're gonna want knowing Nintendo, you know, they're not gonna rest their laurels on just multiplayer, you know. So I think we are going to get the rumored Zelda remake. We're gonna get Ocarina of Time remade,
right?
With amazing, beautiful graphics, or some caliber of game. It's I don't expect, you know, the next 3D Zelda, like the next massive one.
Yeah, no,
I don't expect the next 2D Zelda.
Mm-hmm. We just got that
because we just got that one. But they know how much people love Zelda. You know, they know how much people want Ocarina of Time. And if there's any Zelda game that could move consoles, it's remaking Ocarina of Time.
Do you think that will be closer to launch or closer to Christmas?
I think it could be a little further out from launch. Maybe, you know, late summer or fall, or even if not then, I think it goes straight to like 2026, like early 26.
Okay.
Because maybe they want people first, you know, single player game people focusing on Mario first.
Right.
And then I have a take it or leave it section. Well, first, I think we're going to see a new random IP as well, like a 1-2 switch arms caliber game.
Yeah, and I always love a new either like. Are you saying a new IP or just something random returning? Okay, yeah.
And I think it's going to use the mouse. It's going to be the thing it does.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
Of some kind. I would love if it was either. If it wasn't new IP though, if it was some obscure IP, I would love if it was either Mario Paint or Flipnote.
Right.
I would lose it if it was either of those. And And Flipnote's been kind of blowing up recently. I mean, people have been making Flipnote animations again and sharing them on like Instagram Reels and TikTok and stuff.
I've ever since a YouTuber I saw like made a Flipnote video, just like everyone's been like, "Yo, these were the days."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I have a take it or leave it section where I think we'll get one of these things. Or maybe multiple, but if not, like I'm not basing my entire prediction off them. And firstly, sorry, Kid Icarus, sorry.
Or like for the year or in general, like if it's
at least for this year.
Okay, yeah,
at least for now.
Don't worry, I've been coping long enough. Like I can continue to cope for at least. I'm trying to remember what Hades said at the end of the game. Like once we get after 25, once we get to 25 years, that's when my cope is gonna finally be reaching. We still have a good. We still have a good. We still have a good 12-ish years till then.
12-ish years left. Yeah. When Nintendo posts 25 years ago today, this game released on 3DS on their Twitter, then you're gonna lose.
Yeah, I will take my signed Kid Icarus poster with Palutena and Pitt's voice actors and just start creating a chanting circle around it.
Exactly. So that's one of my take it or leave it's, and then a new Kirby.
Yeah.
I think that's another take it or leave it in terms of that could be a game they wait till the next year to show off and release. And Luigi's Mansion 4.
Okay.
Because we don't really know what Next Level's working on.
Right.
So it could be, Luigi's Mansion 4. But I could see one of those games being announced on this April Direct. But take it or leave it. It doesn't have to be there.
Personally, one game I don't think either of us talked about, Smash Brothers. I think that's smart to still keep as a second-year title.
Yep, I have that. So I was about to say I have a list of things that I don't think we'll see. And the first one on there is Smash Bros. Because they know, and they did the exact play with Switch 1. When they announced Smash Bros., they get a full year of hype of all of the character announcements. They get multi-months to a full year of just building up hype in Smash. And they don't want to waste that full year of hype on the already hype launch year of the Switch.
Right.
You want to extend that hype as much as possible to keep sales going. You don't want to just explode all of your hype out at once on year one. So I absolutely agree. That's going to be a 2026, February Direct. The final game is Smash Bros. The next Smash Bros.
Yeah.
I agree. I also, again, I said we're not gonna see next 3D Zelda. We're not gonna see next 2D Zelda.
Yeah, I'd say 3D Zelda might be shown off 26, probably released 27.
Yeah,
especially if the question is, will the next 3D Zelda try to more be a Ocarina of Time with dungeons, smaller Hyrule, wait a bit for like. Give us a Zelda that's not as gigantic as we've had the last two.
Right. So I think that, and also, if my theory on this Legend of Zelda remake comes to fruition, they're using this beautiful remake of Ocarina of Time as their like marquee Zelda title for the year. So they're not going to want to overshadow that with a new one.
Right.
They're going to want people to purchase this new Ocarina of game first and use that. So I don't think we'll see that. I don't think we're going to see the... Yeah, go on.
Give us a new Hyrule Warriors for 2026.
I could see that.
Now,
I could see that.
I'd love to see that. I'm on the Xenoblade Warriors hype train.
That could be very real. I mean, the crossover of the Dynasty Warriors and Xenoblade is probably pretty high.
That's my next Warrior spin-off that they need to do.
I don't have it on here, but a Warriors game is very likely, I think, of some kind, because they love their Warriors games.
I know they are Koei Tecmo either just or are about to release a new Dynasty Warriors. Need to check that out. I played the demo, so good.
I also don't think we're going to see a new 2D Mario because Wonder is pretty recent. and I think that's going to be another game. Again, they never released a new 2D and 3D Mario at the same time.
I'd
Um,
say 2D Mario would likely be 2026 since that's when movie 2's coming.
yeah, and you know they can't really announce all this stuff now because they have to space this out for the next decade.
Right.
So, you know, this stuff is certainly not coming. And I also don't think, as much as it kills me, because this is my favorite Nintendo franchise, we're not getting the next Pikmin yet.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's going to be a bit. How well did Pikmin 3 do or Pikmin 4 do in sales?
It was by far the best-selling Pikmin.
Okay, so that's at least a good sign that the franchise is still alive.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's from what I understand, Pikmin is like Miyamoto's prize game in terms of like it's his reward for having created Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like, you know, he gets a final say over the creation of Pikmin because he legitimately just loves Pikmin.
Yeah.
Like, and Pikmin's never been a big seller. It's never been a considerably popular Nintendo franchise. But Miyamoto just has so much personal love for Pikmin that he always says it's his favorite Nintendo franchise he ever created. I'm sure that he is just mandating that this series stay alive. If you visit the Nintendo store in New York, or you go to the one in Tokyo,
oh yeah, there are a little hidden
of the
Pikmin.
merch is, and not even that. A good 20% of the merch sold is Pikmin. For a tier 2 Nintendo franchise, you know, that's on the level of like Metroid, Star Fox level of Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
like Pikmin is way overrepresented by Nintendo in terms of merch, marketing. It's one of the themes on the Alarmo of like the 5 themes.
Right.
Like, I don't think Pikmin's going anywhere, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're getting it anytime soon.
Yeah, that's probably like a year 3, 4 Switch title or Switch 2 title, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And then I think it would be really cool, but I don't think we're gonna get Tomodachi Life. I don't know if you've ever played a Tomodachi Life game.
I dabbled with it some on the 3DS. It's something that was just always there. Like part of, like, for me, it's probably not something I would grab, but I'd be happy for people that want. I'm happy for people that really want it.
As much as cool as Tomodachi Life is, I think that it just it competes too much with Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's I can see that.
They'd probably be too worried about splitting that fan base.
Right.
So I could either see them just holding off until post Animal Crossing to do a new Tomodachi Life. And then my dream is a new Paper Mario, but actual real Paper Mario, like Thousand Year Door 2.
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible now that we got the remake. But that's when it's like, I don't know. I doubt that will happen now, but maybe sometime in the Switch 2's lifetime.
As I said in my review of it, I understand the pain now.
Dude, right?
Thousand Year Door was so good.
It's so incredible, and it's Nintendo's one of Nintendo's best like non-Xenoblade RPGs by far. So
I'm sorry I had to put it in 4th place on my ranking.
Hey, that's fine. I get it, man.
I played too many good games.
Dude, if 2024 was a good year for games, imagine what this next year is going to bring with a new console. It's too much.
I'm already playing Dark Souls 3. That's great. I got Final Fantasy Rebirth next
I'm not even
week.
done with Echoes of Wisdom, man.
I just got Echoes of Wisdom as well, and I still need to start that.
I'm right near the end.
I got Spider-Man 2 coming to PC. I have Dark Souls, Dynasty Warriors, Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy. The real game I want PS5
the PlayStation to port to PC is Astrobot.
I would
I
love to
wanna
see
play
that
Astrobot
happen.
so badly.
That is the one game that I'm like, I don't think it's happening. that game.
No, it's too many IP in it.
Yeah, that game relies too much on it being PlayStation. You literally repair a PlayStation.
Yeah, and there's too many IP to probably justify bringing it over to PC. But
yeah. I'd be interested to see the difficulty for that, but yeah, I think that's still the one that won't come. I'd love to see it happen because it looks so fun.
It's like Mario Galaxy 3 essentially.
Game of the year 2024. I was so happy to see that.
Yeah. All right, we're getting off topic from the Switch
too. We're talking the competition.
Yeah. But I think that we both have pretty strong predictions for this lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm ready. I want to come back and do another one of these in April.
Oh, happily. I'm planning to try to stream. I might not be able to stream the presentation, but I'll definitely be recording my reaction for it.
Yeah. I would love to join, and we'll have to see obviously on the timing.
Mm-hmm. For me, the difficult thing is timing wise. That day is my sister's birthday. If it's in the morning, I'm already planning on taking that day off because of the presentation. If it's in the morning, I'm in the clear. If it's in the afternoon, that's where it's like, okay, birthday plans.
It's so random to be on a Wednesday.
Yeah, no, we're so used to Thursdays.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll just have to wait and see on the announcement. I wonder if they'll do a midnight, but the fact that it's not going to be a press meeting, or at least from the look of it, it won't be a press meeting.
Yeah, last time. Yeah, honestly, I'm happy with the direct format for this.
Yeah, I hope they do take some inspirations from that press one. Like, I want to see all the different developers talking about the system, showing all the games off.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I'm much more a fan of the direct style for this because they are so good at making the directs hype. And they're so good at surprising you with the reveals. And when when Furukawa or someone comes on the screen, at some point and says, "What did you think of that? Now get a look at this." It's going to be big,
mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm looking forward to with this format.
The always great. We have one more announcement.
Exactly, and that's going to probably be 3D Mario or something, but we'll see.
It really is. It really is the Tim Cook. Oh, and one more thing.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So finally, I want to talk about the live event. The Experience Switch 2 around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Are you planning on trying to attend, or you think it's just gonna?
Unfortunately, with it being in New York, I'm probably not gonna be able to get up there. I'd have to see, or because the 4th is also my father's birthday.
Yeah, and that's tough, man.
It's the 2nd and the 4th.
Yeah. They know your family's birthday, and they're really timing the Switch 2 around it perfectly.
Yeah, and then it's just also work trying to get back, or getting to New York. The fact that the congestion pricing now.
Yeah.
To even drive into the city, I'm just like, could you have given me a DC?
They did DC for the Switch 1.
Yeah, I remember going to, or maybe not when the Switch 1 was coming out, but I remember going to Tyson's Corner to try to play Smash there before it came out.
Well, before the Switch 1 launched, they did one of these hands-on experience events in Washington.
Oh, really? I did not remember that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, only New York this time. I'm going to attempt to go. So I will report back if I do. The sign-up begins tomorrow at 3 p.m., and I'm going to attempt to get on the list. And if I do, I'm going to New York City.
Hell yeah. So. Speaking of attempting to get onto lists.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying that in a weird way. Did you, when I saw the campus rumor, were you able to get into the playtest program?
No, I was not.
Okay.
I did sign up, but no.
When I saw the campus leak for the C button, I was very much like, is it going to be that?
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo loves to gamify um their UIs and their menus and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, so
I
I wouldn't be surprised, but I could also see that just being for some random new IP or game or something.
Yeah, for me, from playing it, like there was the possibility of like maybe this is something they release as a Nintendo Switch Online thing. Me, like the way I saw it felt more like this isn't really meant for an exact game. This is, as you've been saying, online. This is testing multiple players working in a world together at the same
Right.
time.
Right.
This is testing the possibility of more like MMO functions for Switch games.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, I don't necessarily think, I mean, Nintendo's previous forays into online with Miiverse, that was very gamey. You had the
Mm-hmm.
Miiverse Plaza with all the Miis running around.
Yep.
So like I could see it, but that also that playtest just felt a little too gamey. Too
Yeah.
much like a game than a UI or something, Like there's an actual objective in the game and like you did stuff. It wasn't
I
just like
I don't know if I said
random.
if I'd say there was an objective.
There were yeah. No, but like, there were things to do
Yeah.
in there that suggested more of a game.
Yeah.
It's like Minecraft almost, right?
Kind of like Minecraft in the sense there were blocks.
Yeah, and you move them around and place them.
Honestly, the most fun I had with it, there was kind of like a tethering system in it that when you really tried to mess around with it was pretty much like Spider-Man web swinging, but
Oh, that's
very
awesome.
janky.
See, if it's a new game, I just would love to see what the game is.
Yeah.
You know,
It
um,
it was just weird.
I could imagine.
It,
Yeah, so I think that's the um, most likely answer for that is
Mhm.
it's more just going to be a straight up test for some new IP or just a straight test for online.
Oh, actually, in this video, they very much show the release mechanism.
Oh yeah, look at
For the
that.
Joy-Cons, and yeah, getting that clear look at the back, it is definitely not a analog trigger. Maybe possibly the Pro controller for this one will get analog trigger.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see that whenever we get to see it. But yeah, no, I think that's at least near the end of our discussion.
Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to cover, and I think that we did a pretty good job with our predictions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So how hyped do you feel?
Oh, very. Like, while like some people have said like this was disappointing because it didn't reveal anything new. That's what happens when you leak everything about the system.
Exactly. You know what? If all this stuff was new, it probably would have been a torrent of new information for people. But
Exactly. But
they got to deal with reality.
I'm happy with what we got. I can't wait. I'm very excited for April. Um, hoping for that that June-ish release date. Oh wait. It is very hard to tell if there's an IR sensor on the bottom of it. Actually, no, it looks like there isn't.
Yeah.
Because
look at that.
I'm waiting for that to go back around. That looks like it's just the edge of the controller.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Huh, so yeah, maybe guessing that's one of the compatibility issues they're having with the new system. And I mean, it makes sense. The IR sensor was barely used.
Yeah.
I think I can count the amount of games on two hands.
Exactly. Yeah,
Well,
I mean, well, that's all that stuff will be revealed in just a few short months.
Yeah, that's for sure. And with that, this has definitely been a long one, but hope you all enjoyed our discussion. This was fun to do, and I hope we'll be able to do something like this again once we get more information about the Switch 2 in the coming months. Well, catch you later.